May I know if someone tried to practice what we discussed yesterday?
Just we gone for that task, right? Just so
Mhm. Okay.
the scheduler job. What we have in that we
Mhm. You mean the scheduled task?
yes.
Email
Okay.
notification.
Okay. So all good, or anybody faced issues and errors?
I think API integration we did that sense.
Okay. You faced an issue?
No. Just recapping yesterday's session.
Okay.
We couldn't exercise
Okay.
that, but just telling you what all we did yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to recap what we discussed yesterday, we discussed about scheduled tasks, how that works, all the configuration, and trigger task, how trigger task works with cloud URL and on-premise URL, and patterns, what we have to configure in the pipeline when we need to make the pipeline API, task-based API, synchronous or asynchronous, how to configure it to receive um, immediate response and asynchronous response after the pipeline completion, all that we discussed yesterday, right? So today we'll
Yes.
continue the last pattern, part of the same. Okay, so we discussed the first pattern, no input or output was open. So this is about trigger task APIs. Okay, so neither end open, input or output. Then this acts as synchronous. When a pipeline is triggered via API, the response will be sent only after the pipeline completion. The other one, when one of the output views, there should be only one, not more than one. If you have more than one input view open or output view open, trigger task won't work. It shows an error, right? So we understood when to open the output view when we want immediate response or when we want in the middle of a processing after some steps of the execution or at the end. Okay. And the third pattern, open the beginning, which means pipeline input to receive data. Okay. And how do we consume the data? Okay, we'll try that now. I'm creating a new pipeline called demo trigger pattern 3. This is a simple case. Okay, I didn't make much transformation, anything. Okay, I have a mapper. I'm just collecting the input data is dollar dollar. Okay, and I write it to a file, and I'll give a name for that, API test.json. Now let's create a trigger task for this. Sorry guys, give me just 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Yes. Okay.
So we are creating a task for this as a pattern 3. Let's give an email notification again. when task has started, not started, completed, failed. I don't want started notifications. Okay, I'll enable this one not to have parallel executions if one is already active. Okay, let's take a copy of this period token. Okay, this SnapLogic is selected default. We can change it, but now I'll leave it as it is. Created. This is our task. Disable and authorization period token. I pasted the bearer token. Now I have to send data to pipeline. Okay, so I will send with post method. I'll send with the body. I can do like raw data JSON. I'll keep some sample JSON payload. Anything we have here? Yes, this one. I'll take this data as my payload. Okay, I'm sending some data. So pipeline just have to take this as input and write a file. It's just a JSON file. So we don't have much transformation. This is a very simple and small pipeline. So all it has to do is I give just dollar, which means the input data, and dollar, just passing order, nothing else. And JSON formatter will just format into JSON file, and file should be written. Let's trigger successfully completed. See, we can see 200 status. Now let's see, do we have the file created or not? And here this is triggered. Let's refresh. We can see this is triggered, started successfully. It is completed or not, we can see completed successfully. Mapper, JSON formatter, and file data. Okay, now let's go to the folder and look for the file. We have the file created, aptest.json. It's here. Okay, now I want to receive same like output. Okay, output we open. I want to receive the file name as output to the trigger callers. I'll leave this on output view open. Let's trigger now. I received the file name. So which means the output of this snap, the data output of this snap is sent to the API caller. All right. Is this clear?
Yeah, yeah, it's Venkatesh.
Yeah.
Yes, Sunil. Oh,
All right. So with this, we covered all the patterns. All right. And same way, we have just one more just to show downloading a file. Same like XML we have, right? Let's make it CSV. Let's pass on some CSV to the JSON data. CSV. Okay. Or let's create another pipeline. Why to modify the same? CSV download. Here Control Z works. Okay. I just do Control Z. Done. Control S also works to save pipeline. Okay. Just take a mapper and CSV formatter. Here let's give some data. I'll give simple data because CSV is a simple and lightweight structure. It doesn't support array kind of structures and all. Yeah, this is simple data. I want to convert this to a CSV and download as a file. This looks very small. All right, fine, no problem. Here in the headers, accept text.csv. No parameters. We're not sending any parameters. And I think we didn't try sending a parameter. We can try that as well. File write. Binary copy. There's a snap called binary copy, similar to the other copy snap. Okay, the snap. This works with document view and binary works with binary views. Okay, you remember we have only two type of views: document view, which is circle round shape, and binary view, which is with diamond shape. When we have data converted to JSON, we work with document views. Now, if we were just copying the data into a file, CSV API test.csv. So what we're going to do in this pipeline, receive data from the API caller, it's converted to CSV, write it in a file. At the same time, send the data CSV file to the caller. Two things are happening: writing a file and sending a file, sending the data in the form of a file. And here, let's create a parameter key. Let's call it a file name. Okay. API underscore test.csv. And we need to enable this capture always, because this means the data will be the values, parameter values will be visible in the execution data on dashboard. I'll show that. Now I'll remove this. I'll select from the parameter, pipeline parameters, file name. I think you remember here underscore refers to parameters. File name. So now I will pass on the file name. I'll remove it here as well. I don't want to keep it. Okay. My parameter is file name. I want to pass the value API underscore test.csv. Okay, looks everything fine. Let's create the task. This is the key. Task created. This is the URL. Okay. This is our payload body and authorization token. This is the token. Parameters. This one. Let's see everything is correct. Parameter, authorization, body, and the task is active, enabled. Some issue. We can see missing property value. What exactly does it mean? Let's go to dashboard and look at the error. We can see this is in field status. Where did it fail? Not starting pipeline as prepare error. Missing property value. Mapper. Okay, didn't we define anything? Yes, I should keep dollar dollar. That's the reason pipeline failed. We didn't configure this in the mapper. I saved it. Let's try again. I received the data. I sent JSON payload. Here, I received the CSV data. I can download that. Here, response to file. This, this is to download a file. I think in Postman it shows in a visual format. This is good. And to download, we can just say response to file. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, Sunil.
All right, then let's move next. Okay, we completed pipeline patterns and three use cases with the APIs. Then, okay, the important topic, we'll cover that today. I'm creating another pipeline called demo. Uh, Let's name it um, use case 5. Okay, here CSV. Okay. And let's take mapper to map the fields. All right. I have a zip file. Okay. Will your zip file read snap? I'll upload that from my local machine. I think it's still downloading. I think download is taking time. Okay, done. My file is ready. Okay, I uploaded my file, and we can also upload file not only there, also in the manager. In the manager, we can just go to files, just click create, and we can upload file. And the file size maximum supported is 100 MB. We cannot upload or create a file in SLDB UI which is more than 100 MB. Okay, yeah, this is uploaded, and this file is a CSV file. Okay, inside this chip we have a CSV file that has 5 lakh records. You can see I named it 5 lakh records. Let's preview. We can see zip is unzipped, and we can see some preview. It has data. It shows just first few records because it's a large file. It will just show 8 8,000 bytes. I'll use CSV parser. I have all the data. Okay, this is employee data belong to a company. We can see first name, last name, employee ID, all that. Okay, now let's split this data into multiple files. Okay, can you give me one parameter to split this? I want to group this data into multiple. Can we group by some field here?
Date of joining.
Date of joining, but that won't be common,
Okay.
right? Let's take
Maybe,
something common,
maybe
like
gender.
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 Okay.
Fine. Let's take gender. Okay, now a question to you. Okay, how can we separate data? Okay, based on right now we need to uh, split data by gender. I need to write two files, one for all male employees, one for all female employees. So how can we uh, redirect with Snap to use?
Filter.
Good thought. And filter works only one view.
Router
Perfect.
we can use.
Yes. Who said
Supriya, I
Gita?
think.
All right. Fine. Perfect. So we need to use rotor because in rotor we can keep n number of conditions. There is no such limit. I can open 100 views, output views, right? Many views. And for
Okay.
each distribution of data, we can use conditions.
Okay.
But right now we have only two conditions, so I'll keep only two.
For single input, we can split that into multiple
Yes. Okay.
multiple
Based
parts
on a
here.
condition, yeah. But now I can see the data without giving a condition. May I know why? I see some data. I didn't give any condition.
It do load balancing.
Sorry.
It do load balancing if you don't give any condition. It will split to like if you have 1,000 record, then 50-50 it will be split for output 0 and 1.
Right. Perfect. So yeah, I think you followed me very well. All right. So what you said is correct. So if you do not give any condition here, so we discussed in the initial sessions, if you do not specify any conditions in rotor snap, either I can delete also these views, okay, and open multiple output views. It will distribute data across all the output views evenly,
Okay.
like first record, second record, third record, fourth record. That way. All right. Now let's specify our condition. Let's do it by gender, gender equal to female. True. Some of the records true. Let's try with the second condition, male. We have some records that are male. See, we can see all female employee records appeared in the first output view and male records appeared in the second output view. Okay, now my data is ready. Okay, I can do map it, but I don't want to do any mapping. I want to make it large file. We have many fields here: employee name, details, mother's name, father's name, date of joining, year of joining, all of these. Okay. Let's leave them as is to see how large data will be processed. Okay. Directly to the CSV, right? Let's write it to JSON. CSV. Okay. I'll give a name: employees female dot JSON, employees male dot JSON. All right. We have 5 lakh records in the input file. Let's run it.